Welcome to Seriously Speaking. 4 years ago, I had my guest on the show today, on this show, in the early days of Seriously Speaking in 2014, thereabouts. And the reason I had invited him then was simply because he had gone to the desert and come back after 6 months of trying to cross through Libya to the other side of the world for greener pastures. And he had written a book that was called Chasing the Mirage. At that time, we wanted him to share his experience simply because it seemed kind of far out. But today, since the CNN broke the news of what happens in connection homes, the whole world suddenly realizes that those who are seeking greener pastures may get there, but they go through these connection homes and they become slaves at the end of the day. It brings on the whole issue of human trafficking. On the show today, I have Osita, who was here with me 4 years ago, and 3 people who have come back now, because today, Osita's work is around ensuring that many people who come back are rehabilitated. This is Seriously Speaking. I'll be back with Osita and my other guests on Seriously Speaking, if you don't go away. Yes, it's a pleasure to welcome Osita. And like you saw, I'm going to ask our producer to play a little clip of when he was here on the show 4.5 years ago now. And just to set the tone for what we're doing here. Osita, I'm going to read very quickly one paragraph from this book. Osita, by the way, is the author of a book titled Chasing a Mirage, My Search for an Oasis. And it's based on his own true story of his journey. Actually, he ended up in Libya, I forgot. When Abike said +288, I remember that you called your sister.
I was on my way to Europe.
You were on your way to Europe. Libya was just, most people going that way, they're on their way to Europe, isn't it?
See Tripoli, see Italy.
See Tripoli,
but you were going
see
to
Italy.
Europe through Libya.
Yeah, everybody in Libya is on transit to Europe.
That's what it turns out to be.
They're all stranded in Libya.
Let me read this. I need to drink something or I will die. A man jumped out of the truck, turned to corner, and he opened his zipper and he urinated into his jerrycan. He brought his jerrycan to his mouth and began to gulp hungrily. From the back of the truck, we watched his face, coveting the relief that flooded his eyes and the peace and calm that seemed to pervade his being. I looked away. This was repulsive, but I needed to drink something, anything, and I didn't care what it was. Many travelers jumped out from the truck and began to follow his lead. I urinated into my jerrycan. It was barely much, but I closed my eyes and drank it. It had no taste. There was no time to savour its taste. I was trying to survive. After we discovered an alternative source to water, we received some strength. We realized shortly, however, that men didn't produce as much urine as women did. Yeah. And the men had to appeal to the women to share. I pleaded with Ada and Ngozi, and they shared some of their urine with me, which I passed on to Temi. It was sickening. But if this was how we were going to survive, then it was a price we were going to have to pay.
Wow.
That actually happened.
Yeah.
As you can see, it was a conversation that we had simply because I read the book, I found it interesting, and I figured that how it was so graphic, what he experienced. And Osita is back here. Then he told me what he experienced, but he's back here and said, it's nice to have you on Seriously Speaking again.
Thank you very much, man.
You have been speaking, now you're a father of 5. When I met you, you were a father of 2. You've added 3 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're an industrial maths graduate, and at least you schooled in Nigeria. You finished your youth service. I didn't even ask that.
Yeah, I served in Akure, Ondo State.
And then what happened? Why did you start trying to get across and leave Nigeria?
Yeah, when I actually graduated, I had this flair. I wanted to do a uniform job. I had this flair for uniform and paramilitary work. I looked for a job with the Department of State Security Service. I actually looked for it well.
SSS?
Yes, SSS. I tried all the way, chased the work. I couldn't get it. So I a little bit became frustrated that the job I wanted to do, I couldn't get it. Even other jobs, I tried to look for other jobs, actually. It was actually promises every day. Don't worry, we'll call you when we are ready. And time was actually running out.
So what made you think going to Europe will solve your problem? And why did you choose that route?
Yes, actually, I didn't choose the road. I actually wanted to go to Europe by air. You understand?
I remember the book says so.
Yes.
Let me show us a copy of that. That's Chasing a Mirage.
Yeah, I got a visa, I got a ticket, but the visa was fake. The frustration doubled up.
How much did you pay? Can you remember how much did you pay for visa that time?
For visa then it was 250,000.
You didn't have a job.
Yes.
But you would get 250
yes.
to pay for visa.
You know, then I was doing business, so I had to mop up money from the remains of my business, and some friends assisted. You know, I got the money because actually some of my friends actually supported that I should travel. That with all these laws, Osita, that you cannot be frustrated like this. You know, so they supported traveling by air, not traveling by land. So it was after all the
fake visa.
yeah, what the saga of not going by air, the option came up. Why are you wasting time?
How does one find those things? You meet somebody at the restaurant, or somebody comes to you, or people are waiting in the airport.
They are everywhere. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. And once you find yourself in that situation, you are likely to see one or two persons at any point in time that will link you up.
Are they touts?
There could be family members. Everyone is involved in that. There could be family members, mostly their friends. You know, there are people around that will see, you want to travel? Okay, I have somebody that can arrange a visa for you. And the moment you get into the person's hand that will arrange a visa for you, the link continues. So from there, you have a story of, okay, why are you wasting time in 2-3 days' time? Don't
you ask yourself that the person that's trying to get you across, why doesn't that person go?
Yeah, at that point that you are desperate, what you're thinking about is getting out of the country. It will be difficult for you to reflect or start thinking if it's going to be fake or not.
Okay, tell me now, but the truth is you came back.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading your book, and what hit me was the question of you seeing the Lampa Lampa.
Yeah, the Mediterranean Sea, it was terrible. And people that died that were brought back.
Because you saw the boats with people full and almost, and that made you come back.
Yeah.
But since then, since 2004, your life's work has been towards helping people. First of all, to raise awareness about how dangerous it is to cross. And then in more recent times, resettling people who have come back. You know, so why did you choose to do that? Because you are still not a rich man.
Yeah, actually...
Are you a rich man?
No. Actually, when I was going, I saw the manner and way, because at the time I was stuck in the desert, and I saw the manner and way Nigerian, our youth and our girls were being sold, and they were running out of the country as if there was actually war in Nigeria. And looking at the area where these people are coming from my side, I now said, are we really fighting war? What is chasing us out? And when I returned back, I was coming back, I saw people, you know, some dying, some stranded.
Did anybody not think you were crazy coming back?
You understand? A lot of them thought I was crazy, but I swore when I was coming back that if I eventually survive to get into Nigeria, that I would do everything possible to end this means of traveling to Europe, because it has really, you know, it has really destroyed a lot of our youths, you know. And I said, and when I came back, I actually started, I was very mad and very aggressive. I was everywhere. At times I go to park, when I see young boys traveling with bag, I would tell the drivers...
Trying to stop them.
Yeah, try to stop them.
So, I mean, it would be nice for me to take a break at this point in time, because your work has carried you to the point where you will help people who are coming back. So when you saw that CNN story, it was not strange to you?
No, I was even happy, because I said it. I said it that time,
I'll be back. I'll take a break and I'll be back. When Osita returns, he'll return with 3 people he's helping currently to fight this fight. We'll be back. Yes, welcome back. I describe the people who are with me on set right now as very bold and confident and patriotic Nigerians, because they choose to share their stories regardless of what anybody thinks or what anybody says. They came back home voluntarily, and Osita's NGO is one of those that is helping the IOM and the UN organizations to resettle them. So I welcome you back to Seriously Speaking and introduce to you Fred, Jemai, Jasia, and Queen. Queen happens to also bear a name that is mine, Adesuwa. And I think I'm going to start with Queen. Why with the names with so much promise like that? Adesuwa means born in the midst of wealth. You must be the first daughter. What were you looking for abroad? I mean, India abroad. But I think Osita, take out your glasses so I will see your face.
Thank you.
Stand for table. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome, first of all. Thank you.
Thank you.
What pushed you to go to Europe, or to try to go? Did you go to Europe eventually?
No.
What happened?
Actually, I'm the first daughter, and I have 4 siblings. So, my parents, they are not the average. And I wanted to, I want to help my parents. I want to sponsor my younger ones so that they can get to, you know, the level of education I wanted.
What made you think that help could only come across? Because you know, in my place, they say there are people, all they are looking for, because one person don't come back and don't build story building, The next one says it's your parents that pushed you.
No.
Okay, in your own
I
case.
live in Lagos, not in Benin. So nobody pushed me. Actually, as I was in my friend's shop bidding, someone came to me and she was like, wow, this thing is good. In Libya, they love this, they love that. And I do dance also. So she was like, all these Arab people, they love Nigerian people that dance. I said, wow. She said, you make money within 3 months.
This friend, male or female?
She's a woman.
Really?
Yes, a mother. So I was like, wow, okay, let me try it. That was, first of all, she said, when we get to Kano, we enter a plane that we are going to use the Kano airport. I said, okay. That was
Did your parents know that you were leaving, or you just?
Actually, I told my parents, but my dad said no. Then I just looked at everything. I said, let me go.
What year were you in school at that time?
Actually, I just applied to my ND.
ND, so you were in between school. What about you, Jessiah? Is your story similar? Because it turns out that you are from Benue. You know, we always hear the fact that these people are from South or somewhere. But you say you grew up in Lagos.
Yes.
What was your story?
Actually, my own story is far different from her.
You didn't have any woman telling you to come to Libya?
No. So I'm a gospel singer.
So you have a good voice.
I'm a gospel singer, so the connection came through one pastor. One pastor at Idimo. Then I was living at Festac then, but I was facing so much challenges then because I have 2 children.
Yes,
my firstborn is 18 years old, while my secondborn now is 8 years old. So, and challenges, different kind of challenges, all-round challenges then.
Did you have a place to stay?
Yeah, though then I rented a room there at Maza Festac side there, but the place is not that conducive for me. I have to retrieve the money after 3 months. So I now went back to my auntie at Idimo because it was the one that raised me. So that very pastor that linked me to this, let me say, wonderful journey. I can call it a wonderful journey there. So I've left him since 1995.
Was he your boyfriend?
Pastor?
Yeah.
No. He was my pastor, let me say, an elderly person. He's a prophet, maybe say.
And he told you your future is in Europe?
Yes. So
Queen is laughing.
Yeah, so my aunt, as I could not even locate the place again, so my auntie now directed me to that pastor. So that was in 2014, January. I met them, you know, this beginning of the year prayer and fasting. I got there and I said, my daughter that I've left him for long or something. So I sang there the very first day, the second day, the third day. So that's when they brought the connection that if I have the opportunity to travel out of the country, would I like to go? I said, sure. I was very happy because, let me say, 2009 or 2008 or 9, I have opportunity to travel to South Africa. Then I won Martina Dancehall.
Oh, really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that was when I did my international passport, but unfortunately then I was unable to go. So the pastor said, do you have international passport? I said, no, that I didn't have international passport again. The one I had then would
So the pastor arranged everything for you to go?
The pastor arranged everything. So they said we go through Kano.
Kano too?
But they lied to us that we are going to Cairo. So then I said, what am I do as in my handwork? I said, I'm a hairdresser.
Did you have to pay to get on the journey?
I said, we have to pay that connection fee, that's 40,000. I said,
was that the same thing you paid, connection fee?
No, I did not pay anything.
The woman just carried you like that. What about you? You crossed, Fred made it across. You got to Switzerland.
Yes.
And your route was also Libya.
Yes.
Yes. So in Switzerland, when you got there, was it a cold season or warm season? Or tell me your experience.
It was a cold season. It was in November 13.
Wait, so you crossed that water that we see on CNN?
Yes.
How many people were in the boat when you crossed?
I have tried that water 4 times. The 4th one, I entered Europe. I have many challenges. Also, for the first one or so, we have challenges. They have to bring us back. Then they deport us to Tunis. From Tunis, also, they bring us back to Libya. So after some months or so, I try again. But the fourth one, I succeeded to.
So how many years were you in Libya?
I spent there 3 years.
3 years in Libya.
I left there 2008.
So you must have gone about the same time as he did. He ran
2005,
back. He ran back in 2004. You stayed and continued trying.
Yeah, because I want to be there.
Did any of your fellow people die on the process?
In my boat.
In your boat, yes.
No.
Okay. Are you not afraid of the water?
No, no.
Can you
no.
swim? I know you are from Delta, but...
I don't know how to swim, but I just have one belief that I want to be in Europe.
So you got to Europe?
Yes.
And did you get a job?
When I arrived in Italy, I spent in the camp 8 months, trying to see if I can get a document from there.
Who manages those camps?
It's Italians.
So
The refugee camp.
Okay.
They pick us from the water, because when we arrive, we just call them on phone that we're already here. They say, okay, we have already seen you people should just stay there.
So that brings me to the question of people normally say that people like these are not patriotic. That's why they said, do you believe so?
No.
Okay.
I think one of the major reasons, one of the push factor is the difficulties and the challenges in the nation, especially when it has to do with economic challenges.
But people have problems and they still stay.
Yeah, no, that is what is fueling it. That's what is giving opportunity for misinformation. You know, it's an industry. What is happening is a trade. You know, people are not capitalizing on the fact that a lot of youths are stranded and they need job, they need to make ends meet, and the youths are desperate, so they now see it as an opportunity to now start recruiting youths.
I would say the youth should be patient.
So we need to be patient.
And the issue, because I think what he said to me was the fact that if he had known it was going to be hell, he wouldn't have gone.
That is it.
So people must know it is hell.
That is it.
Don't try, no matter how bad.
That is
Please
it. That is it.
Stay back home and try.
Nigeria is actually a great country.
Is Nigeria a great country?
It's a great country.
At least east, west, north, home is still best.
Yes,
even if you are suffering, suffer in the house, right?
The freedom
Until you lose your freedom.
Yeah, the freedom
So we
is
must
there.
say, you can never finish the issues discussing in one show, but the question is, the conversation has begun, and we must remember that it's either the hell of trying to cross or the hell of trying to live here and suffer with family around you. It's been Seriously Speaking. We'll see you again next week. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you very much.